Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about respect in the music community. Now it seems like a little bit of a strange topic for these videos, but it's something I've thought about a lot and actually talked about a lot on Tumblr. I saw a photo recently of a poster at a school asking, I wonder if the people who are worried that classical music is dying are the same ones who don't go to student recitals and support their peers. And that got me thinking again about respect and support within the music community, and I wanted to talk about it. I mean, the first thing is respecting your peers and the people you work with. And that's partially crediting them for the help they've given you, whether that be playing with you in a recital or working on a project with you or even just editing a paper. That's a big thing. And it's something that's worth acknowledging publicly. If you watch the 52-week series, you see that every week I make a point to thank the composer, and I also thank the other people that worked on that particular video. I don't have funds to pay these people, and they help me out of the kindness of their hearts and out of friendship and respect for me, and the least I can do is thank them for that. And that little gesture means the world to some of these people, because that means that I know how much time and effort they have put into things, and I respect them. So there's a tradition at degree recitals to thank your teacher and to thank your parents and to thank the people for coming. And that's something that I think we need to carry on into more professional settings as well. A lot of people do still do that, and they thank the audience and they talk about the people who worked on the pieces. But I do also see a lot of recitals where the performer just walks off the stage and never really says anything. And I think we need to change that. Along with that, respecting the people that work in the venues is also really important. Stagehands and lighting techs and all of these people who help you put the show together are doing this because it's their job, but they also don't actually need to be there in terms of, like, they could walk out and you would just be out of luck. So, respect. Being kind and amenable and helpful is something that is really worthwhile. Along the lines of the photo I saw, respecting your friends and your peers by going to their shows is a big thing. In school, it's a little easier because, one, you're kind of required to go to a lot of things or you're playing in them yourself. But as you get older and as you get out of school, and if you go to a school where there's like 4,000 things happening, like Indiana, you have to be very tactical about how you're planning your life, because going to these things is important. One, it helps your musical development. You get to hear new pieces, you get to hear new interpretations, you get to hear things that you don't necessarily get to hear on a regular basis because they play a different instrument. Like, you get to expand your musical knowledge, but you're also showing respect and support for your friends and for your peers who eventually are going to be your colleagues and going to be people that can hire you. And I'm not saying that you should go support these people just because in the future they might hire you. I'm saying you should do it because you're a good person and it's part of being a musician, because we're collaborative as a group. And that's something that you should always keep in mind. Our field is 100% collaborative. There is no way that you will ever play any concert without any other person helping. There's literally no way. And yes, you might do a solo recital where there are no other musicians playing with you, but again, you still have the people who are working at the venue, and you still have the person who might be recording it. There are people there that are working with you. You will never work in a bubble in music, and that's something that you need to remember. And the last thing is be very careful about how you talk about people. And those of you who've known me for a long time know that I am not the best example of this. I used to be very bad about this, and I have made efforts to move forward from that in the past few years. But it's something that you have to be very conscious of. And it's not just famous people, it's your peers and your teachers and everyone around you. Because the thing is, the internet is permanent, and you don't know who's gonna see what. And saying the wrong thing can really be detrimental. And that's not to say that you shouldn't call people out when it's necessary. There are a lot of people who have done really awful things, and if you have proof of it, you should speak out. Do not be afraid of that. But when it's just an opinion, or it's hearsay, or you just don't like a person, be very careful about how you talk about them, because it may get back to them. So yeah, I mean, the moral of the story is we work in a collaborative field, and you have to show respect to the people you work with, or you will not get hired again. And that is not what you want to do. And again, I am not perfect at this, and I have a past where I was not perfect at this, but it's something that I am very conscious of now and have made a lot of efforts to rectify in my life. And I think that more people need to have it in the forefront of their mind that they work with these people, whether or not they are working with them now. Everything that happens in the music community is something that can be used against you at some point in your life. So be very careful. As always, if you like this video, give it a like. If you're new here, subscribe. If you want to support me more, check out my Patreon, and I will see you guys on Thursday.